Yeah, it's Isaac. It's Tiana. We bringing truth in the mix where the real stories sit. Under no conditions. You know how we do. Feel that beat, let it pull you through.
Yo, we sitting here, mic in hand, talking about life. You know we got a plan from heartbreaks to laughter, real and uncut. Every conversation straight from the gut. Isaac bringing wisdom with a flair of the wise. Tiana with the humor, watch the truth arise. Pull up a chair, let's get real close. In this podcast, we bringing you the most.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. This is your boy Isaac. Hey, Tiana, she had school today, so she will not be with us. But we're gonna move forward with the show. How's everybody doing? I hope you are having a great week so far. However, we're gonna get right into it. Question: are your insecurities holding you back? I want you to think about that. Are your insecurities the reason why the decisions that you make based on your emotional capacity is hurting you? We've all been there, whether it's been professional, whether it's been personal, or just something that's internal that's within us that continues to hold us back. So for me personally, when I think about insecurities, for a long time I looked at it as a major barrier, and the fact that I couldn't make no decisions or didn't know how to make decisions or made a decision and was worried about whether or not it was going to work, whether it was going to be successful, or whether I could do it at all. That was one. Two, listening to the outside noise. Every time I had an idea and I would present it to somebody, somebody would always tell me, "Oh man, why you doing that? You can't do that. What you doing that for?" So, based on that learned behavior, as I continue to mature and I continue to grow in the process of becoming the man that I am, that always stuck with me. So many times for me, when I went to go make a decision, or I wanted to do something, or I felt like I couldn't do something, that would kick in. And the first thing that will happen for me, and I'm quite sure somebody is out there that can identify, was that, can I do this? Or why should I be doing this? Or if I do this, nobody's going to listen, nobody's going to watch, nobody's going to appreciate it. Instead of just doing what my heart desires and understanding that I'm doing this for me and the reason why I'm doing it. And for myself and many individuals that I come in contact, that's a big issue, because many people that I talk to, they talk about how insecure, them not having no self-confidence, them feeling like that they don't have the ability to do the one thing that they know that they love to do. So what I'm going to talk about along with that is, and what I learned in this process, is that I have to name it. What is the insecurity? Once I find out what's the insecurity, then I ask myself why, without having all the outside noise, without being self-indulged in the fact that I can or cannot do it. I had to start questioning myself. So for me, I'm gonna use my podcast as an example. I've always loved radio. I grew up on radio. I grew up listening to sports on radio, so it was very intriguing. And and when the podcasting space started really booming and opening up a few years ago, I would tell myself, I want to do this, but then I will also tell myself, you know what, nobody's not going to listen to me, or how am I going to get guests, or what kind of subjects am I going to come up with, or is anybody going to care? So I procrastinated for about 2 or 3 years in this process, because I had already self-sabotaged and made myself believe that I couldn't do it. And it all came down to insecurity. So I had a friend by the name of Tony, and he had a podcast called Talking Crank. And I will always give him high praise for allowing me to find my voice. And he asked me to come on his show one day just to be a guest. And I was like, sure. What can I lose? Was I scared? I was afraid to death. However, you would have never knew. And I got on the show with a couple of other hosts, a couple of other guests, and we had a great roundtable discussion. And after I got off of that show, I looked myself in the mirror and I started to ask myself the question, why do I always sabotage myself and don't give myself enough credit for the minor things that I can accomplish? And once I began to answer my question, I started asking what it was, why, and what can I do about it? So once I got to that point and I started asking my questions, I really had no answers. The main answer was just go do what you love to do, regardless of what anybody thinks, how people may look at you. And remember, no matter what you do, somebody's going to question it. Everybody's not going to like it. Some people's going to like it. Some people's not going to like it. However, I had to make the decision to do it for me, not for the broad audience, not for whether somebody else likes it or whether somebody else doesn't like it. I had to make a decision to do that for me. And when I made that decision to do it for me, doors open. And in that process, don't get me wrong, you're going to struggle and it's going to get hard because then that's when the work comes. That's when the real work happens. That's when you have to work on yourself. That's when you have to kind of get rid of the noise because you know how the noise comes. So I started a podcast called The Den. And I started a channel and everything. And I wasn't getting no results. For me, I became so insecure. I was like, I'm going to shut it down. I looked up, I was 50 episodes in. So that's just was the beginning of how UNC and everything else came about. However, I want to go a little further. I want to go a little further in how do you deal with insecurities in your personal and your professional life? We have a tendency to always worry about what people think. I'm going to tell you straight up, get out of that mindset. Change your mindset. Don't worry about what people think because people going to talk about you. And I did a short last week and I talked about most people will try to defamate your character because of the insecurities that they have within themselves. And as long as you can remember that, no matter what you do, you're going to be fine. It don't have to be perfect. It don't have to be scripted the way that you think it should. Just do it. And do it and have fun doing it and enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, insecurity is something that's internal. However, it can be processed and you can work yourself through it. So I want everybody that's watching this show, I want them to understand this, that you have the ability to do anything that you want to do. And I'm talking about not only the ability, you also have the power. And once you understand that, guess what? All you have to do is keep your feet to the ground, keep your head up, and do what you love. And everything else will take its place. However, I'm going to give you this. Do it because you want to do it for you. If you're doing it for anything other than doing it for yourself and you love it to do it for yourself, you're going to struggle. because your heart's not going to be in it, and your soul is not going to be in it, and it's going to start feeling, and it's going to start looking like it's a job. I podcast for the fun of it. I podcast because it allows me to not only teach, but share my personal experience with individuals around the world, and hope that I get to touch one person, not the masses, just one person. And if I touch one person, I'm cool with that. So love yourself, work on yourself, quiet the noise, and do the one thing that you love to do. Don't worry about what nobody think. Don't worry about what nobody say. You do it for the love, and guess what? Your reward will outweigh and outshine everything and everybody that once again doubted your ability to do the one thing that you love to do. Once again, my name is Isaac. Tiana, she's out today, but she'll be back with us next week. Most definitely every Tuesday, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, Under No Conditions podcast. If ain't nobody tell you that they love you today, I love you. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow me, Isaac Murden. I'm on Facebook and Under No Conditions. We're on Facebook and our YouTube channel, our media network, Under No Conditions. You guys have a great week. Love you guys. Peace.
Yeah. It's Isaac. It's Tiana. We bringing truth in the mix where the real stories sit. Under no conditions. You know how we do. Feel that beat, let it pull you through.
Yo, we sitting here, mic in hand, talking about life. You know we got a plan from heartbreaks to laughter, real and uncut. Every conversation straight from the gut. Isaac bringing wisdom with a flair of the wise. Tiana with the humor, watch the truth arise. Pull up a chair, let's get real close. In this podcast, we bringing you the most.